Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
Emma pleasured Ethan with her mouth, enjoying his reactions. Her hands explored Noah's firm chest, while Ryan gripped her hips tightly, drawing her in. Emma trembled through multiple climaxes, her moans growing louder. "Oh, please," she begged, and my breath caught. Jealousy and desire entwined, igniting me. Seeing her share that pleasure with other men made me see her anew, her free movements, her unrestrained desire. Instead of anger, I was drawn to her. "Hello, my name is Matt, and I'm 43 years old. I've been working in sales at a small-town manufacturing plant for 20 years now. When I was a rookie, I used to dream idly about big corporations, but I grew to love the smell of steel filings and the camaraderie of laughing together with my hands dirty from work. Before I knew it, I became one of the longest-serving employees at the company. When my colleagues ask, 'Matt, when can we deliver this part?' I give a quick smile and say, 'I'll check and let you know by tomorrow.' My wife, Emma, is 3 years younger than me at 40. She works the cash register at the local grocery store, picks up our son from after-school activities in the afternoons, and spends weekends rooting for our son at his Little League games. When Emma says, 'Matt, Jack's game is at 10 this weekend,' I say, 'Got it.' I'll grab the camera. Our eldest son, Jack, is in 6th grade, and our younger son, Ethan, is in 4th grade. The two brothers are so close that their age difference doesn't matter much. Whether it's video games or baseball, Jack always takes care of Ethan. When Ethan grumbles, 'Jack, give me the controller,' Jack laughs and says, 'All right, let's play this round together.' Our family has another key part of our lives. Three moms we met at a PTA meeting when Jack started kindergarten: Olivia, Kate, and Sophia, and their husbands, Ethan, Ryan, and Noah. Back then, I only attended weekend events or school sports days, but Emma joined weekly meetings, helping with preparations and bonding with them. When Olivia asked, 'Emma, what do you think of these costumes for the school play?' Emma's face lit up as she replied, 'I think blue would be cuter.' Over time, those meetings evolved into family gatherings. For the past 10 years, we've spent weekends at parks or lakes together, and during long holidays, the four families have made it an annual tradition to go on trips. Our first trip was a whirlwind, 8 adults and 9 kids. The adults were always running around carrying bags. When Ethan cried, 'Oh no, I spilled my juice,' I'd rush over and say, 'It's okay, I'll get you another one.' At night, the kids would kick off their blankets and cry, and someone would yell, 'Where's the towel?' from the bathroom. Every moment was exhausting, but there was a unique comfort in our teamwork. Despite our exhaustion, Olivia suggested, 'Let's do this again next year.' And I raised my glass, saying, 'Absolutely.' That promise has held strong ever since. As the years passed and the kids reached upper elementary school, the trips started to change. Jack and Ethan began looking out for each other, waiting in lines, going to the bathroom, so the adults finally had a chance to relax and enjoy their meals. During last year's ski trip, the adults went out to the slopes alone and admired the snowy view from the ski lift. Ethan laughed and said, 'Matt, how many years has it been since we felt this free?' I grinned and replied, 'I know, it's almost weirdly liberating.' That freedom was surprising, but at the same time, I felt a subtle emptiness enjoying ourselves without the kids. We'd been constantly shielding them, and now we were finally taking it off and relaxing. This past spring break, we went to a resort in a rural village with a theme park attached. There were 8 adults and 10 kids. Jack and his friends, now 6th graders on the verge of their teens, still giggled like little kids when they got together. I drove the round trip, seeing Jack and Ethan's excited faces in the rearview mirror. When Jack shouted, 'Dad, I'm riding the roller coaster first this time,' I teased, 'All right, but don't scream.' Those 10 years hit me hard in that moment. We left home at 7 a.m. and met everyone at a highway rest stop. Ethan's SUV had Olivia's family. Ryan's minivan brought Kate's family, and Sophia's family drove their sedan straight to the resort. At the rest stop, the kids ran around with ice cream, while the adults sipped coffee and reviewed the itinerary. Emma checked the GPS and said, "Matt, if we get off the highway by 8:30, we can have lunch near the resort." I replied, "Okay, I'll pick up the pace." The car wound through mountain roads, and the stunning forest caught my eye. Emma, in the passenger seat, picked a playlist and asked, "How's this song?" I said, "Great choice." In the back, Jack and Ethan were caught up in a card game, shouting, "I won," and laughing. Their voices filled the car with every curve in the road, so different from the hectic road trips of 10 years ago. We arrived at the theme park around 10:30 a.m., and the kids grabbed their tickets and raced to the entrance. "Dad, hurry up," Jack called, and I shouted, "All right, don't run." The adults split into team leaders for Jack's group and Ethan's group. I was in charge of Jack's team, and he confidently asked, "If we stick to the schedule, can we roam freely?" I smiled and said, "Sure, but don't go too far." I was proud of how grown up he seemed, but I still packed a water bottle and band-aids in my bag, trailing behind in case he tripped or got lost. The roller coaster had a 40-minute wait. I leaned against the railing, snapping photos, while Jack and his friends struck silly poses and laughed. "Dad, put this on Instagram," Jack shouted, and I said, "Got it, I'll get a cool shot." The other adults waved and smiled through their phone screens. Getting through the line felt like a little triumph, and we moved on to the next ride. The day passed in a blur of repeats, and by the time we rode the Ferris wheel, the mountain leaves were lit up by the sunset. Emma gasped, "Wow, this is gorgeous," and I said, "Yeah, need to snap a photo." At 5 p.m., we checked into the resort. We booked a roomy second-floor suite, big enough for all the families. The resort manager smiled and said, "It's a weekday, so you're our only big group." It was practically a private stay. After dropping off our bags, the kids ran to the hot tub, while the adults filled the fridge with beer and drinks and planned the evening. Emma suggested, "Once the kids are asleep, let's have another beer in the next room," and Olivia's eyes brightened as she said, "Great. Should we open some wine too?" The guys soaked in the hot spa together. The four of us, side by side, laughed about health checkups and declining eyesight. Ryan asked, "Matt, how's your back these days?" I chuckled awkwardly and said, "It's been bothering me since last year. I keep forgetting to do that home workout you recommended." Noah boldly declared, "I'm signing up for a gym next month." Through the glass, we watched the kids playing in the pool, and I rubbed the stress from my shoulders. Ethan joked, "Isn't it crazy we're still running around like this at our age?" And we all burst out laughing. Dinner was delicious: grilled salmon, spring salad, local craft beer, and steak. The kids got chicken nuggets and fries. Emma, across the table, served salad onto Jack and Ethan's plates, saying, "Eat some veggies." Olivia gently spooned soup into the kids' bowls, saying, "This is yummy, just try a bite." Noah led the toast. To 10 years of traveling with the same crew, it's a miracle. To our friendship and families. Everyone raised their glasses and shouted, "Cheers," while the kids clinked their orange sodas. During dinner, I noticed Emma on her second beer, which was unusual. She normally gets flushed after one, but tonight her eyes were especially bright. Sophia teased, "Emma, you seem really cheerful today." Emma laughed and said, "I don't know. I'm just excited to be on this trip." At 8:30 p.m., we moved to the lobby's ping pong table for a kids against adults game. Jack challenged me, saying, "Dad, I'm gonna win this time." I grabbed the paddle and said, "Oh, you're confident? Bring it on." Everyone cheered with every rally, and a resort staff member watched, grinning. Soon, the kids' eyelids grew heavy, and we took turns tucking them into bed. I lay next to Jack, but the exhaustion from driving and the light buzz from the beer sent me into a deep sleep. Past 1 a.m., I woke up. The room was completely dark, and my phone showed 12:58. Emma wasn't beside me. I heard the soft breathing of Olivia, Kate, and Sophia, and the kids were all fast asleep. Thinking, is Emma drinking in the other room? I slipped on a sweatshirt. The cold hallway air hit my sweaty skin. Then I heard Emma's high-pitched voice, mixed with a creaking sound. My heart raced. It can't be, I thought. My feet kept moving until I reached the door. I cracked it open slightly, and Emma's voice became clearer. I heard the rough breathing of men and occasional low laughter. Swallowing hard, I peered through the inch-wide gap. I froze in place at the sight. Emma was entangled with Ethan, Noah, and Ryan. She was passionately running her hands over Ethan's strong frame, kissing his neck. Her hand moved slowly along his thigh, and he let out a low groan. Noah gently stroked Emma's curves, whispering something in her ear, and her body trembled slightly in response. Ryan held her waist, guiding her from behind. His hands moved intensely along her curves, and Emma tilted her head back, breathing heavily. Emma's face wasn't the one I knew. Her eyes were filled with pure pleasure, her lips slightly parted, her cheeks flushed red. She looked like a completely different person. More, she pleaded, her voice filling the room. It was a fierceness I'd never heard in our 15 years of marriage. I should have been furious, but instead, confusion and a fiery heat shot through me. I couldn't look away. I was pulled into the moment, watching as Emma's body moved rhythmically, her moans blending with the men's breathing, squeezing my heart. Before I knew it, my hand was on my own body. Jealousy mixed with her pleasure, but I was also captivated by this unfamiliar side of her. Emma pleasured Ethan with her mouth, enjoying his reactions. Her hands explored Noah's firm chest, while Ryan gripped her hips tightly, drawing her in. Emma trembled through multiple climaxes, her moans growing louder. "Oh, please," she begged, and my breath caught. Jealousy and desire entwined, igniting me. Seeing her share that pleasure with other men made me see her anew, her free movements, her unrestrained desire. Instead of anger, I was drawn to her. Then my foot slipped, and the floor creaked. I felt my heart skip, but they didn't notice me. Panicked, I hurried back to the room. I tossed and turned in bed, unable to get the image out of my head of Emma's moans, her ecstatic expression, and the men's hands. Jealousy pierced my chest, but desire stirred too. What did I just see? I kept asking myself. Morning came, and sunlight slipped through the curtains. I squinted. The kids were still asleep, and birds chirped outside. Soon, the normal bustle kicked in. Jack and Ethan, full of energy, chattered. "Dad, what are we doing today? Let's ride more rides." We gathered in the lobby and headed to the buffet. Emma tied her hair back, a hint of tiredness around her eyes, but she smiled brightly, saying, "Matt, grab a bagel too." It was the classic Emma. Ethan sipped coffee, grumbling. "Did I drink too much? My head's heavy." Ryan joked, "Guess we need another spa session." Noah handed pancakes to the kids, asking, "These are good, right?" No one mentioned last night. The clatter of plates and the kids' laughter drowned out everything. But my thoughts were all over the place. Every time I looked at Emma, her expression from last night flashed in my head. As she sipped coffee, I wondered if those hands had touched Ethan's body. My heart raced. Is she really pretending nothing happened? I wondered. After checking out, we ate lunch at a rest stop. The kids had chicken nugget meals, and the adults ordered sandwiches or burgers. In the parking lot, we high-fived and agreed to meet again. Sophia suggested, "How about camping by the lake next time?" And everyone shouted, "Awesome." In the car, Emma nodded off in the passenger seat, occasionally smiling as she checked her phone. In the rearview mirror, Jack and Ethan slept with their mouths open. Just before exiting the highway, Emma murmured, "The kids have grown so much." Her voice was soft, but carried deep reflection. I replied, "Yeah," but inside, I was dying to ask, "What about last night?" The word stayed inside. At home, we started the laundry, showered the kids, and grabbed takeout pizza for dinner. Jack and Ethan passed out on the couch before 9 p.m. Emma and I were alone in the living room. I handed her a glass of water. She held it with both hands, sipping slowly. Silence lingered in the air. Finally, Emma spoke. "Matt, Thank you for driving, for taking pictures, for always being there. Her eyes were soft but wavered slightly. Surprised, I hesitated. After finishing the water, she set the glass down and looked at me, her eyes gleaming in her eyes. I stood, pulling her into a hug. She didn't pull away. Instead, she wrapped her arms around my back, pressing close. The embrace lingered, her warmth radiating through my shirt. Last night's ecstatic smile flashed in my mind. Jealousy stabbed me, but a burning rush rose too. I led her to the bedroom. The clock passed 11 p.m., closing the door. Darkness surrounded us. I cupped her face and kissed her. She exhaled deeply, digging her nails into my back, clinging to me. We kissed again, connecting without words. My body flared up intensely. I peeled off her shirt, caressing her soft skin. She trembled under my touch, letting out a low moan. "Matt," she whispered, her voice reminding me of last night's. I laid her on the bed, tracing her body, following her curves, listening to her breaths. She gripped my shoulders, pulling me closer. Her body was warm and soft. We melted into each other, her moans growing fiercer. I was lost in her pleasure. Last night's passion with those men burned in me. Jealousy and desire pushed me over the edge. I held her tighter, wanting to feel all of her. She climaxed in my arms, calling my name again. In that moment, I wanted to make her fully mine. The next morning, I woke before the alarm. Emma slept quietly beside me, a soft glow on her cheeks, her hand holding mine. I carefully eased out of bed and opened the curtains, letting sunlight flood the room. Last night's heat warmed my heart, a fresh spark of something new being born. Life resumed quickly. I put on a suit. Emma slipped on her apron and packed lunches for Jack and Ethan. Jack styled his hair in front of the mirror, saying, "Dad, I'm gonna ace this test today." Ethan pulled on his shoes, bragging, "I'm the fastest runner." As we left, Emma waved, saying, "See you later." A spark from last night flickered in her eyes. I let out a long breath beyond the door. From that day, a quiet change happened between us. Over morning coffee, Emma pulled her chair closer to mine. "Matt, you look tired today," she'd say with concern, and I'd meet her gaze, saying, "I'm fine. Having you here keeps me going." While cooking dinner, our hands brushed naturally, the rhythm of the pan and knife flowing together. In the living room, as the kids did homework, I'd lightly hold her hand. She'd sigh softly, returning the grip at ease. In mid-April, Olivia invited us to a barbecue via group chat for Memorial Day weekend by the river. Noah handled prep, Ryan brought the meat, Ethan managed the grill, and I took care of the cooler and charcoal. After the plans were set, Emma glanced at my phone late at night and said, "The barbecue sounds fun." Her voice was cheerful, but her eyes held depth. I replied, "Yeah, I'm excited," swallowing the next words. Last night's scene resurfaced. Would it happen again? Excitement and anxiety swirled. The riverside was bathed in gentle hues, the cherry blossoms gone, and green budding. We set up tents, lit charcoal, and grilled meat. "Cheers," Noah called, and we raised our glasses. The kids set up a soccer goal and played, with the dads taking turns as goalies. Emma, Olivia, Kate, and Sophia made fruit salad by the cooler. Then I saw Ethan hand Emma a beer. "Emma, this one's cold," he said, smiling. She took it, saying, "Thanks, Ethan." That simple exchange stabbed my heart. Last night's images flashed. I stared at the charcoal smoke, pushing down the heat of jealousy and anticipation. After cleaning up, Olivia suggested, "Let's go to the beach this summer." Kate wondered, "Florida's nice, but isn't it too far with the kids?" Sophia said, "What about glamping like last year's camping?" Ryan pulled up a travel app, showing a resort. Noah added, "If we go on a weekday, it'll be less crowded." Emma turned to me, asking, "What's your schedule like, Matt?" I said, "I'll make the vacation work," crossing my arms. Her eyebrows lifted slightly, her smile curving gently, hinting at more than the beach. The trip was set for a one-night, two-day beach resort stay in early July. Room assignments, activities, and meal plans were made. The group chat was active every day. Then Noah sent me a private message. Let's cut back on the beer next time, haha. I chuckled and replied with a thumbs up. Emma, folding towels neatly, asked Noah. I said, yeah, barbecue stuff. She smiled, piling up towels, and said, that was fun. The calm routine felt comforting. Late at night, as we turned off the bedroom light, Emma breathed quietly. Still awake? I asked. She snuggled closer under the covers, saying, thank you, Matt. It was a surprising comment, but I felt the same. Thank you. It was a commitment to trust each other and protect our family, keeping last night's secret hidden. The summer beach trip arrived. I wrestled with mixed emotions, but Jack and Ethan's laughter warmed my heart. At the resort, the kids inflated tubes and ran to the sea. Dad, come play. Ethan shouted, and I called, hold on, I'm coming. Olivia took her youngest to the bathroom, and Kate booked a beach cafe. I looked for Emma. The men set up tents, and Emma busied herself unpacking. My heart jumped seeing her. Again, I wondered. Once the tent was up, Emma started applying sunscreen. Ethan laughed, saying, Emma, I'll get your back. His hands moved along her smooth back and neck. They joked, thanks, you're good at this. But my heart pounded. Noah and Ryan joined, surrounding her. Normally, I'd jump in, but I watched from a distance, feeling a weird anticipation. Her laughter, Ethan's touch, their casual banter. Last night's fire came rushing back. When Olivia's group returned, we all hit the beach. I was momentarily thrown by the women's swimsuits, but Emma and the men preoccupied me. At night, after dinner, the adults drank beer, and the kids, exhausted, went to bed. I woke at dawn, but Emma was asleep beside me, her steady breathing soothing me. The beach trip ended like that. At the fall festival, the kids took part in the parade, and we cheered. Emma, in a flannel shirt and jeans, cooled herself with a fan, her cheeks flushed. Ethan handed her a lemonade. Emma, drink this, he said, smiling. She said, thanks. I clapped to the drumbeat, acutely aware of the moment. Since that night, I've watched Emma and the men, caught between anticipation and jealousy. Someday, when Jack and Ethan are grown and it's just Emma and me, what will happen to that secret? Will it fade, deepen, or spark a new chapter? Now, rain taps the living room window, and the clock hits after 11 p.m. Jack studies for entrance exams. Ethan's asleep on the couch with a history book. Emma runs the dishwasher, and I check emails on my laptop. My fingertips, typing, shake with the memory of that spark. I don't plan to share that secret, but in 10 years of marriage, our ship has sailed through unexpected winds. They stir jealousy and surprise, but also new intimacy. At 43, I'm deeper in love with Emma than when we first met. Her as a mother, her warmth as my wife, and that unfamiliar side from that night. It all comes together. The jealousy doesn't fade, but neither does the captivation. The clock strikes midnight. The kids are fast asleep. Emma turns off the kitchen light and glances at my screen. Work tough? You okay? She asks, smiling. I say, almost done. She says, let's go to bed. I'll head in first, and heads down the hall. Watching her, my hand shakes faintly. Jealousy and excitement blend into a fiery rush within me. Embracing that warmth, I turn off the light and head to the bedroom where Emma sleeps. Cherishing 10 years of memories and that night's secret, I embrace her again. Carrying that night's image, we connect again.